guess I am.
I have no idea. My brain is a perfect angel. All right, it is 7:01 on August 11th. We're going to go ahead and call our meeting of the Equity and Inclusion Committee to order. Mallory, would you mind doing attendance for us?
Sure.
Thanks.
Bess Bailey.
Here.
Yvonne Salinas.
Here.
April Jones.
Here.
Martin Newton.
Here.
Daniel Trotter.
Here.
Gabriella Flores. Zetta Hammersley. And Ashley Phillips.
Has everyone had the opportunity to review the minutes for approval? Or do we need to take a little bit of time? They're not attached in hard copy, but we do have the digital copy.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second? Is there someone for a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Minutes are approved. We'll go ahead and move to comments from the public. Or any messages. No? Yeah, please.
Anthony Saper, 2113 Erie Street. We have a guest here, the president of the League of Women Voters of, I won't get it right. Yes, as a guest here, who's very impressed with our work and wants to learn more.
Oh, hi. Well, we're excited to have you. Thanks for coming tonight. Moving into old business, cost estimates for mass mailing. Everyone has a handout from Raven Printing.
So I'll kind of just explain briefly. So at our last meeting, you asked for estimates. So I got an overall estimate from just a local printing company. I just did one at this time. If we wanted to pursue this further, we could certainly get more estimates, although I do feel that the city's used this company in the past, and they are a local vendor, so it would be fine just to use them. But so they just gave an overall bid. I asked for $3,800 as the number because that would encompass all residents and businesses and probably leave some extra if we wanted to mail. And that includes them printing full color postcards. I had them price 2 different sizes of postcards, full color front and back on that glossier print. So they would look really nice, I think. Obviously, if you just decided to send them to just the residents or just the businesses, then your price basically goes in half. So $1,547.16 was that price estimate, if that's something that you guys want to consider in the future.
And then would we also absorb the cost for postage?
That includes the cost for postage because they're a drop mailing vendor, so
Okay.
they have all of the capability to
Nice.
produce the mass mailing and drop them at the post office for us.
Thanks. Just as a reminder, I think we talked about using up, so our budget, our funds end September 30. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we were just exploring ways in which, to kind of spend down some of the dollars, but also increase awareness of the committee and kind of our purpose with the community. So it was twofold purpose.
So, and then just speaking of the budget, you currently have $7,619 left in that budget, so more than enough to cover this.
Was someone specifically spearheading this project? I will take that as a no.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Okay, any other questions about printing?
I mean, just in general, do you know what the idea was behind the postcard or what we would put on it? Or was it just a thought of being able to send out a direct mail piece of some sort with the budget?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think, in my mind, it makes sense to have like our logo, our mission statement, as well as an invitation for people to come to our meetings, phone number, things like that, website. But I don't have a specific vision for it other than that.
And what's your, what kind of time frame? How much like on-ramp do we need? Like,
Well, I mean, if this is something that, so I don't think staff would do your content for you, so you would need to send us what you would want on it. We can certainly help with design and things like that. But I don't know, probably a week to 2 week time frame before we could get this to the printer. Just thinking that's right now. So we've got budget things and a lot of things happening right now. So probably 2 weeks.
So the more final we get it to you guys, the
Mhm.
faster we can get it
Yes.
to the printer.
Yes.
Okay.
and do you have I think I asked this before, but I might be mixing up fiscal years. Do you have a cutoff by which you need us to spend it? Like September 15 or is it?
No. So the very last day of September is the cutoff.
Do I have anyone that wants to work on the content for this postcard?
I can work on it.
Thanks, April. Cool. All right.
Are we thinking to use the NKC logo, the NKC United logo as part of it, or?
I think as far as branding goes, that's a good idea. Keep it as streamlined as possible. Okay. That takes care of old business. Committee updates, North Kansas City United. Again, you have another handout. That looks real official. It does. And who is in charge of this one?
I don't know about in charge, but I just pulled out, because it was kind of on my to-do list for a couple of months in terms of just touching base. I did try and touch base with Rich at the Business Council. I haven't heard back from him yet, but in his defense, it was just 2 days ago. So just wanted to see what the next steps might be to present to the Business Council or to get an invite to the luncheon, or what they needed from us, next steps. That for me is a deadline. So stuff will get done. So I just went ahead and took what April had begun crafting about a year ago and just kind of reframed it with logo. I just kind of moved some things around, and probably it needs, some more work to it, some more content, and then maybe like another one pager that would be kind of our comms, communication plan. Like, what would we send postcards to businesses, or I don't know. I'm just coming up with stuff. So I think if we came up with next steps, once we hear back from Rich, we can take this and continue to refine it a little bit.
And technically, we don't need approval from the Business Council. I think we just wanted their buy-in.
And I think just an audience with business owners to get them excited or on board, because it really, we only really got to like the 5 executive committee members. We want to get the message or the intent to the whole business community.
So let's take a minute and review this document again, just as a refresher. It's 2-sided for those of you who didn't propose it.
You'll recall that some of the concerns of the business leaders was the list. So,
Yeah.
or, kind of having a list of, I don't know, approved businesses or something on the website.
We got
So-
it.
Yeah, so I took
We got
that.
some pushback on,
Yeah.
because they felt that it was like, the city was endorsing those businesses and that there was some kind of list that was somehow discriminatory against businesses that chose not to participate. So, make of that what you will, but I would just say just to avoid anything that comes even close to resembling any kind of a list, including putting them on the city's Facebook page, because people are going to have strong opinions about it.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
would
it's all worded really, really well, and I like I think the pledge is definitely in line with our initiatives, but in a way that the, businesses still feel, like they're taking part in something, but not necessarily being like forced to by the city, if that makes sense.
During one meeting, I'm sorry, Bess, were you? Oh, during one meeting, probably 6 months ago, we talked about broadening this out to also be residents, community members, non-business people that wanted to pledge. And so if you guys are still wanting to see that, I think we can incorporate it into one concept. I don't think we need to have two standalone documents that say the same thing. I think we can just say community and or business community. And I think households will want to sign on to the pledge as well.
Yeah, I could just see the purpose being changed up a little bit, like if there was a different purpose for residential versus businesses, just because I think those bullet points really do speak to like how businesses can be inclusive and, really specifically in that environment, not necessarily a residential or household purpose.
From a communications standpoint, that's not my jam. Do you think it's better to have two separate documents and tweak them, one for business, one for kind of residents? Wouldn't be hard.
I guess I'd have to think about it just because I've always considered the pledge like from the mindset or from the perspective of a business owner versus, just someone in the community who wants to be a part of that initiative. So that, I don't know, I'd have to chew on that for a minute. But does anyone else think about like the residential versus business?
I mean, we could definitely have like a residential version available if anybody expressed any interest, that wasn't part of a business or whatever. I mean, I like the idea, but I'd kind of like to see how it goes first with approaching the businesses and stuff with it. But yeah, definitely eventually.
How would that be different, other than what's written on the pledge? That's incorporates a lot of houses of worship and all of those. You think it just residential, like in and of itself?
Yeah, like just saying that, instead of like this first line in the pledge where it says provide a safe and welcoming environment for customers, clients, but, obviously, me and my kids, we don't have clients and customers and, but basically just say that, we encourage, in our household encourages a safe and welcoming environment, just kind of rewording it a little bit, like Gabby said, so that it applies to residents.
Is there anyone that'd be willing to take a stab at adjusting the language to a residential form so that when we get our business work flying, we can like quickly incorporate residential as well? I know this has been on the docket since like almost day one, and I'm really excited to get it
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, I can do that. I can work
Perfect.
on that, definitely.
Thanks, April.
Mhm.
Any
can't-
other comments or questions about North Kansas City United?
Did I email the whole group or just Mallory? So I sent it like last night, pretty late. Did
I
you?
don't remember
You got it?
getting an
Okay.
email, but I don't know if I've checked it today.
Okay. Just want to make sure that April has it so you can
Great.
tweak it.
Okay, moving on to additional community member comments. Any committee member comments?
I have a comment. And maybe it's related maybe a carryover from last month. We had talked about kind of, so it may be technically old business, so I apologize, I'm not good on the Roberts rules. We talked about figuring out some events and activities, and I know that was going to be part of our work session that we ended up not having. But I feel like we're almost in fall, and there's probably going to be, a few more movies in the park, a few more, jazz things going on, and some activities this fall, and would love for us to have, at the very least, maybe postcards to hand out to people, some more T-shirts to do. If we could take a look at those things tonight and try and get people on the books for them. I don't know all of them, but maybe our fearless city team can help us know exactly what's, that there might be some upcoming things. Like, are there any chief, coffee chats with
I didn't bring my
us?
laptop, so you put me on the spot here.
Sorry.
But that's okay. Yeah, we can. There's a concert in the park coming up. I don't know. I think it's this Friday, so I think it's tomorrow. That would be tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, Friday in the park is tomorrow. Movie in the park is August 19th. They have a movie. That same day is Friday in the park again, from 11:30 to 1. So that's sort of the lunchtime concert. There's another one in September. There is a Friday night concert on September 9th. And then a few other Friday in the parks in September as well. And then there is the Halloween event on October 8th, which is at the dog park. It's on a Saturday, yeah. You would need to contact the Parks Department about that.
You said that's October 22nd?
So if you wanted to order supplies for that, it'd be something that we could use your budget for.
We still have a lot of pens, correct? Didn't we? Ton of pens. Okay. And maybe some T-shirts, but not. I mean, $7K is a lot of money to spend between now and September 30th, in my opinion. Totally. Yes, absolutely. Sounds good.
By the way, did everybody get T-shirts? Did everybody get their T-shirts?
I didn't get mine yet. I think I was out that.
Because that way, when we pass them out, we all have them in our correct size.
I don't really know how to make that work. Other than connecting with Martin to get your shirt if you haven't gotten one yet, any other comments or announcements?
Just a quick question about the next newsletter article for our quarter.
Ooh, you're stealing my thunder. That was going to be one of my announcements. But yes, we need that. So I need that preferably by the end of next week. Can I make some other announcements? Okay, so article for the newsletter and then calendar dates. You guys sent us calendar dates last year, and it was like a last minute kind of rush to get the calendar done. So I'm trying not to allow that to happen this year. So if you want dates, holidays, things that you guys had included. If you want those again, please send them my way, because I'm starting to work on that. And that will need to go to print, preferably by the beginning of November. So kind of as a timeline there. And then the DEI training started rolling out last week and this week to our boards and commissions. And I think I checked this morning, and I think 6 board members had requested to take that training already. So, yeah.
All right.
Can I make a comment? Can you remind us again, if we don't spend the entire budget, does it roll over or do we lose it?
Nope, it doesn't roll over. It goes back just into general money.
General
But
money.
we are requesting the same amount again next year. So it's not like you totally lose it. It's not like it goes away. But
Okay. I would recommend that on the September meeting, that one of our big items on the agenda is how we're going to spend that money, because I would hate for it to not be wasted but not be utilized, because I do think there's a lot we could do with it that we probably could brainstorm and come up with, since we would still have until the end of September to kind of do, outside of just like funding for the trick or treat. I feel like there's other things we could do with all the holidays that come right after that. I feel like we could use those resources to help out some people before the holidays and brainstorm some of those ideas.
Great. And if that's all, I call this meeting over at 7:22. Does someone want to bang the gavel? Don't upset her. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Ooh, hey, I want one of those.
Mallory. Mallory.
no, but I'll get for you. Just
Okay, sure. Put them on the shelf. Okay.
What size did you get?
I'm gonna check it.
Extra
A lot
large?
of them. Lots.
On Mr.